Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. There we go. Got our intro music all rolling. Hello, Heretic. I see ya. Welcome on in. Hello, everyone on Twitch and YouTube and on the VOD and on the stream, etc., etc. Hope you're having a good Sunday. A good time, a good time zone, despite the world seeming to, it's like the gods seeming to have it in for us. With all of the weather going on everywhere. Goodness. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all getting through it okay. I am doing pretty well. And my yesterday and the start of today was kind of in a slump, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling a bit energetic, although I have been doing some work. I've been doing some future channel work stuff. So that means I've been looking at the screen quite a bit today, so I may very well take a break or two in the middle of the stream just to warn you now, just to give my eyes a rest. But other than that, yeah, pretty good day. Can't complain too much. Yeah, we are in the middle of Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, almost done with Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. And then we'll be on to some new stuff. Wait, have they announced the release date for, I should look this up. Professor Layton, release date. Okay, it is still just quarter 1, 2026, is what it seems. Yeah, so hopefully they stay true to that launch time without crunching people. That is the hope. Yeah, let's get on in. For those who are coming in while we're in the middle of the trial and the investigation and everything, and don't really know much about this game, we are a Japanese attorney in London in like the 1700s, 1800s, something like that. Like around the time, I'm guessing it's late 1800s, because it's around the time, actually, now that I think about it, because it's about the time, because we went, because we were on a steamship earlier, and I think those were invented around then or something. But let's see, I should turn off my cursor capture, because I'm having the thing again with some controller issue. So yeah, but so instead I'm having to play with the keyboard and mouse this time. We are, let me pull it up for you. Oh, we don't have us in here apparently. But we are Ryunosuke Naruhodo. We are an attorney. We're from Japan. Here in I forgot Suthito was 16 years old. He's one of the most confident 16-year-old I've ever seen. But anyways, yeah, we are here in London. We are defending. In this case, we are defending this gal Gina, who is accused of shooting somebody in a pawn shop. And Gina was formerly she popped up 2 cases ago. She's a witness 2 cases ago. She was paid off by paid off by, is he here? Yeah, he's not here. Basically Wario. He's paid off by Wario to give false testimony to sort of clear his name. But nobody knows that yet. We know that, but the public does not know that yet. She is a pickpocket, and yeah, we're defending her. This is the last case of the game, and yeah. Let's see. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. I think I'll be able to do the voices for most of them, but for most of the time. But I say I did go out in the cold weather today, so it will be. So I already am feeling like a little bit of throat scratchiness just from that, but yeah. Where's he going with this? Also, what's a little new is that I had new blue light glasses. A funny thing. The reason why I didn't stream on Wednesday and Friday was because I had misplaced my blue light glasses. So now I have new ones, and it's the whole adjustment period of like, oh, you're getting used to new glasses around your face, and you're just sort of seeing the lenses, you know. Yeah, nice. That plus looking at the screens all day, it's probably going to be a shorter stream, which sucks because I want to finish this game. I want to get in the weeds of things. Like I want to be here for like 2.5 hours and really digest what this game has to show for us. Mr. Holmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric says who? It says who? I forgot British. Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. He did. Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. I say only works in very small time. It's a very infrequent time time periods. What's the word for like? Why am I forgetting the word for like periods between time? Anyways, the prosecution has obtained the photographs. Oh boy, that is probably gonna be worrying. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigious, I fear. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the shop. There are. I remember this. I think one was, actually, I don't remember where the other one was. Okay, one was there, and, okay, there and there. Huh. Alright. You can go, it's gonna be that they went around the back of... Yeah, so this is pretty useless. I fail to see how that would help if the thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. But yeah, he supposedly knows. But, I think what they're pretty obviously setting us up for is you had the camera. I should have turned. Maybe I shouldn't have turned off my capture cursor thing so soon. Anyways, you got the camera here. So you have a camera here, you have a camera here. So you can just go, it's this camera that counts. Unless, I doubt that maybe you could push that up against the back, but then you'd be seen. But anyways, it's this camera is the one that counts, because you could easily just go and, not be seen in this one at all. Yeah. So, because they're both presumably firing at the same time, yeah, this is, pretty useless. Anyways, don't know why you set it up like that, but... Oh, these guys. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't remember their voices. You were really high-pitched. You were low-pitched. But again, my voice is scratchy. Lady Luck loves a skulkin'. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been. Yeah, it's just gone 1. In which case, minutes before the brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh boy. That's not good. That is not good at all. It's the defendant. Miss Stellastar. Yeah, I don't think there's any worming out of that one. As the court can clearly see, the accused is situated gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to the storeroom. Is there any... I don't think there's anything else you can really see in that. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, okay, we can't rotate it, so there's nothing on the back. Yeah, this definitely appears to be Gina. I don't think, yeah, we can really get out of the fact that it is Gina. You got that over here, you got dog. You got one photograph. Got you looking over there. Empty skull. Alright. I don't believe it, Ginny. In short, the accused is the only person who could have possibly killed Mr. Winterback. Yeah, I would be very surprised if we don't get if we don't need to do a summation here. Just joined Weird's Cosma. About that. I hope he's seen the game. Oh, yeah. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Yeah, yeah, figures. Yeah, summation examination time. Whereas Cosma, if you want to see, yeah, Kazuma is we had our judicial assistant on, and we had our old judicial assistant had to go back to Japan. So that is what happened to Kazuma. If you know more, if you know the details, I think that you'll appreciate that explanation. Anyways, how are you, Tufty Boy, in the YouTube chat? Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Take a pally bullet to the knee and battle. Oh goodness, not the bullet to the knee. Decorated for it and all that, forced to retire from service, sadly. Awesome. I can see that the model of the pipe just ends there. Cool. It looks outside the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see, the battle of daily life, if you like. Here I am, leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you'll mark my Words one for all and all for one. Yeah. Here it comes. You're so EP feels. I feel you there. It is also, again, it is a big weather day. So again, we got people all over the country just hunkering up inside. I'm not surprised. They've reached ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, haven't they? Is that what we ought to understand? Well, none of them have spoke, so in a manner of speaking, yes, that's the Gyarados Squatcher's position. It's too soon to make a judgment here. Says the court for the courtman on the double. His lordship is a prostitute of all times. That goes from making decisions to. Oh yeah, this guy. I think I'll find the truth as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. Don't, please don't. I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. What are you thinking about, buddy? Also, who are you telegraphing now? So, wait a second. If the whole conspiracy is that McGilded is secretly alive, yeah, here, I'll tell you the bedtime story of what I think happened here. Is happening with this jury. I should probably hit enter so that you don't have beeping during your bedtime story. That's not soothing at all. So you had the story of one Wario Wario McGilded who watched the hit television show How to Get Away with Murder in like the 1800s or whatever somehow, and decided, ooh, he's like, I want that to be me. That would be fun. So Wario gets up to his dastardly deeds. He hires a pickpocket. So he does a murder. Pays a lot of money to a actually not too much money to a pickpocket to testify, and then pays probably a whole lot more money to have his death faked. And then as you're sleeping in bed, you got juror number 5 tapping away at a telegraph machine in order to relay to Wario, who is still alive, how this trial is unfolding. Because if it goes badly, whoopsies, it won't be a very happy bedtime for him anymore. But luckily, at least from what I know, you haven't done a murder, and you don't need to worry about any of this. You can just sit back and relax, take a big exhale, appreciate your day, and let your tiredness consume you. And that's it. That's our bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed. Call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Oh, that's what he sounds like. Here comes the slams. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. That photograph, it must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Kitty didn't shoot him. No, of course not. Our go snore me. Glad snore me's. Hope to see you around again. Oh boy. Oh, hold on. I have to disconnect and reconnect my headset. One sec. There we go. Sometimes it just gets all staticky. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Who could have possibly seen this coming? Very well, the court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately. Mr. Foreman, are all members ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let's get ready to rumble. I'm sure that's helpful for sleeping. Goodness. All right. Let's see. All the evidence clearly points the finger at guilt at this young pickpocket Tien. She'd like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. Oh boy. I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. Okay, so you like the photograph. If I've left it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission. A verdict to follow. Stop. In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. Goodness. I am convinced brothers are innocent. There are many possible meanings for that. Circumstance of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom, locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused are discovered alone. And in the accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. I'm John. Think from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bloody trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, all these cameras are supposed to help, not hinder. The only thing I could really think of as an explanation is the pawnbroker's unfortunate habits when it comes to guns and her trying to take it out of, maybe her trying to take it out of his hand. But that doesn't explain why she has it cocked up. So, yeah, we definitely have an uphill struggle ahead of us. There's more of the situation that we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed. All right, jury examination time. The defense's rebuttal. Oh, this is a rebuttal. Oh, huh. So this is like a normal cross-examination. Interesting. Okay. You have you. You are the only one who mentions evidence. Is it possible? Can you show us anything in stereo?
Hold it!
What do you mean look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl's about to shoot the victim, obviously. There's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is you look in the same print in stereo. It could reveal all sorts of new information. Then why are you saying that she's guilty? By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Ew, how did you know? Because it couldn't be my one personality trait. It never gets old. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Well, very well could, but I guess not. Yeah, let's see what this is about. What exactly have you been muttering about this all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. So sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Most people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no. Oh goodness. You don't meet my kind on the forefront of medical science. The real brains in the field. Oh goodness. So what is it you think you've left behind? Well, that's a little embarrassing. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Was it Sholmes? Enter the abdomen, but when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalp. Oh goodness. Are you okay? Surely not. Surely not, you say to yourself. Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me the whole time. Could I really have put my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? Of course I couldn't. There you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. That's exactly my concern. I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure he needs to be more sure. That got us nowhere. If I can't change the minds more than half of those 6 jurors, the trial will be over. Jenny would never shoot anyone. We need to find contradict. Oh, so it is a normal pit. All right, let's see. Can we hear more about your perspective? Will that give us anything new? Polishing the bench, I see. Again? Mate's work's never done. Not a blemish must remain. Yeah, okay. I don't think I can do the voices anymore. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to market for his lordship, I had to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpursers, and crossmen. The scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps? Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those vax loans would be made spick and span or eradicated. Oh, that's not... Wait, Mr. Sholmes is trying to purge back streets? He does wonders cleaning up London's streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. I don't think he'd want that title. And also, cleaning up doesn't mean evicting people. It's quite unforgivable. Yeah, okay, you're just upset that we're just upset that Sholmes was shot. And also, yeah, it wasn't her who shot it. They're all gutters gun as far as I'm concerned. Goodness, okay. This might be an idea to get our facts straight. Yes, alright, I shall amend my statement. Oh, okay. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective they did. So, if you look at the photograph in stereo, hold on. Yeah, we don't have any stereoscope or anything.
Hold it!
Let's try this. Sorry, radio transmission. What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so you can send messages using electrical signals. I tried to do her voice and remembered I just said I couldn't really do voices. Thousands of miles of cables went laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed. It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. Also, I'm surprised they could do that at this time. You're well informed, young lady. The cables will soon become a thing of the past. What? Radio transmission is over airwaves. Blah 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 blah. Man, you're really getting excited. Try not to wear out your fingers. People say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. Oh, goodness. Can't understand it. I really can't. It's just silly toys. Oh, goodness. I forgot those were glasses. They were like reflecting mirror glasses for a second and not a knife. Anyways, let's pursue you. Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I could guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on, I dare you. Are you talking to me? Yeah, I think he just might be, yes. I also think that you're feigning ignorance. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would he not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. She does have a point, though. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are no practical use at all. This reminds me of the end of Frog Detective. You know, books serve no practical purpose. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. Oh, okay, so this is how we get one here. I'm obviously gonna have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, let's take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, you could reveal hidden clues you've never noticed. Have you got any, Bruno? Any prints you could look at with a stereoscope? Yuppers. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. I would assume this one, but I see that one was later on. I mean, we have 2 of those, but I assume we might have to examine that later. But
Take that!
all right then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable prints? Of course I can. Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. Yeah, that is the worry here. Let's present the same one. Wait, sorry? What do you mean one more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Blah, blah, blah. You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? You know, one for the left eye and one for the right. Yeah, showing us this because we want to see that photo, but... oh, yes, I remember now. But the print we have for the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track. All we need is this, another shot from a slightly different location. And we can see the scene in 3 dimensions. I'm gonna see if you'll know unless you try. How about we do this? Our pawnbroker's ticket. See if that... Would that do it? Okay. I think maybe I need to have a stereoscope look at your brain, so... Hey! Okay. Alright, let's press you. Please tell me you're not villain Bolshevik. The Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor? As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which club fits? Wait. Good day. I am visiting. Okay. Okay. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. Well, forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like vicious criminal all the time, very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look. The Skulkin brothers? Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But they done nothing wrong, that is all I want to say. I saw them shot a man. Alright, well, first of all, that's one not the little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up. Ooh, okay, this'll be the thing we can add when we can pit. Jurors are chosen at random, supposedly. Supposedly. In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. Okay. And yeah, let's just trust you just in case. You're Mr. Nasume's landlord, Mr. Garadev, aren't you? You really must stop meeting like this. That lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Well, I'm in a courtroom still. Rather a turbulent time we had back then. I thought that said what a turnabout time we had. That would have been something. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Hey, can't be denied, I suppose. Curse of the Garadev house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out. I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. I haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot, but not for us. That's for dash and certain. Aw. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Honestly, I really wish you'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. So they shot the great detective. All they have a, mine made up glowed radio transmission. I think these two. All the evidence points a finger of guilt at the pickpocket and the brothers shooting the great detective. Let's try this. No, music is still playing. Can't accept that. Do 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 do. The really frustrating thing is I thought I'd identified a genuine discrepancy there. I thought I did. You know, I have to listen to what they have to say a few times before it starts to make sense. Press on anything that sounds suspicious. That's the way forward here. You'd really be labeling members of the jury as questionable. Oh, you're convinced brothers are innocent, and they are the scum of the earth.
Objection.
That's what we're looking for. Good lord, counsel, explain yourself. My statement contradictory. Contradict. See, and juror number 6, you got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. They shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. A, B, D. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word abdomen, part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. You thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before we never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh, goodness. Oh, lying is wrong, especially a lie said by a person who looks like a criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough. I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault, though. You should stop squeezing on him. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be... Yes, it is, Bruno. Easily. What? It is? Oh, with the prints from the recorder. Okay. Print the pictures, Ginny, and the next print from half an hour later, I'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Why? She's just going, literally cooing at him. I'm sure the fan base has, I'm sure the fan base has no problems whatsoever with like a 10-year-old girl cooing at a like 40-year-old prosecutor. I'm kidding. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. Print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Yep. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is a print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' flight. So this is taken after Hurley was shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. No. Look at that. It moved. Do you see like the doll on the table, the books? I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it could have been a trick of the eyes. But I think everything just, the doll and the books and stuff moved just a little bit to the right. Also Heretic, yes. Thank you. Can't notice anything that's obviously missing. So the brothers who looked like criminals told only one lie. They shot the man, but they stole nothing. Yeah, let's talk to the people though. Not good. You were right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers of blood. I think it is very important to continue our trial. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the juror number 6. Well done, Bruno. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what the jurors are saying. Yep, now we have 2 prints. Thank you, counsel. Continuing with the summation, please. Kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Okay, there we go. Let's go to juror number 3. I wonder if we can make use of that. Yes, we can. In Lake of Lies, there are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty, but... Alright. Can it really show up new clues, though? Don't know unless you try. It's time. Present. Here, number 3. Let's do it. Of course I can. Very well, then. I'd like you to demonstrate. One more print. This one right here. Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera and window banks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer, do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? You gotta go all cross-eyed and make the 3D models look really weird. I think so. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects that's really important. So, what happens if you use two photographs that are the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally, anyway. Oh, of course, now I see. I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have. Oh, no. Yeah, please uncross your eyes. Yeah, yes, absolutely we should have another look, because... Oh, yep, told you they were pushed to the right. Yes, I can. Yes, I absolutely can. Well, yeah, two people in the first. Yes, you can see that straight away. But now, try looking at them in 3D. You have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap. You'll wait for the game to go. Let's see, if I cross my eyes, I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Bruno? Oh, okay, so the game actually wants you to try crossing your eyes. I'm not gonna do that because I can't. We tried that last time. What's going on with these two pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of, they jump out at you. How are they all looking at it at the same time? That's it, you see? That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power. Someone gonna explain this black magic, eh? Why do they seem to jump out at you? I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using the stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see them in 3D. In other words, even though at first glance, it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift. Rabble. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say, but why does a shift between the two prints exist? What's the answer? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. I am absolutely not. I have the first idea. Yawn coming on, give me just a sec. There we go. It's quite simple. It is. Just think through it step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken, but the position of some of them appears to have shifted slightly. So that means sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Interesting. I thought, like, somebody might have been, like, pushed a little bit sort of against the desk from the left to the right. But that not mentioned in testimony so far. Yeah, new information not mentioned in testimony. Yep, that... I think she's definitely relaying information to McGill. That's my little conspiracy here. We've had to go around circles, but I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift. We can. So let me save here. It's either the Skulkin brothers or it's John. Because Gina obviously didn't, but let's see. Hold on. What is our? Oh, we can't even look at our court record. Because it's asking us to pick one person. Let's go with Pop for now. Or maybe it is a Skulkin. Let's just go for the simple. Let's go for because yeah, they shot Sholmes and they shot Sholmes and ran away. They didn't steal it. They didn't steal anything. So let's go.
Take that!
Quite clearly is the work of this meddler. Yeah. Yep. Oh well. Now be clear, even to you, who is responsible for the impeachable shift. Cool. Let me guess, me? Shift aside. Is it shift aside, my lawyer friend? Let the real, actual lawyers do the talking. Think about it, it has to have been someone who was in Windibanks and everything was going on. So, that narrows it down quite a lot. Okay, so probably brothers then. I mean, it could have been Sheena, but...
Take that!
Is the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers? Wait, this does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said, yeah, the only that was sort of what I thought. The only reason that I didn't go for them immediately was because it said, hey, because it said it was this person. So it's like, oh, was it Windibank then? Because they're not saying these people, but or by the or like they're done by ... My phrase book says Dukes is meaning hands and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you're saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Hold on there a minute, you can't be sure of that. Quite agree, the accused is a common pick purse after all. Perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windibank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. Also, she was on the other side. Why would she, I guess, like, why would she pull it only a little bit towards her? All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have admitted key facts in their testimony. The accused is a pickpocketer's common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Hey, that's very discriminatory. Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse than a pickpurse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? That's pretty clever. That is a pretty clever turn of phrase right there. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair. You're just headbanging the gauntlet. Headbanging the gauntlet of fire. That's so funny. I think I'll find the hard playthings. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Hey, yeah, she's been converted. She's been converted to a stereo lover. Yeah, what did they call, like, what is the equivalent of, like, a cinephile, but for the stereoscope? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclination side of the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call the summation examination to conclusion, with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue. Yahoo! By the way, You should hold on to this. You never know when it might come in useful. I was very surprised that we didn't already have this on hand. Stereoscope has been entered into the court record. Lord Van Zeeks. You'll instruct the witnesses that the court demands admissional... Yeah, I was thinking of this as a stupid Siva Gunner reference entered my head. Couldn't stop myself from laughing. The gosh dang mummer entering the house. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night, at least. And I will... please don't have this be anything relating to do with aliens. That would be very bad. To be continued. This seems like a good time for a break, don't you think? I do indeed think so. I will make it, hopefully, a quick one. But one can only hope. We will be right back with some more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Woohoo! Yay! Don't touch that dial, folks. We're back. Welcome back to the adventure of the unspeakable story. Part 2 of 4 for the trial. Let's get it underway. Let's hear from these brothers who are skulking. Order, please. Let's resume proceedings. Witnesses, you'll now retake the stand. Alrighty. Oh, they sweating, and there's Greg once again. Hey, Greg. Are you the named predecessor to Greg's? Anyways, I presume you've heard the summation examination. Yeah, Governor. I did, Gov, I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Oh, boy. We playing hardball, huh? We're playing hardball here. Let's go. Let's go. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered. 8 flashbangs. Well, it was Bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, and Ashley was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me Lucy Lockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers. On the night in question, I literally saw you shoot a man. Also, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. Never done nothing. How'd you figure that? Good job, guys. So good. You're so good at this. You're so good at this. You'll now give formal testimony once again. You sure did I remember, yeah. He's a little tiny front man. You'll tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time you'll tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. Yep. Sure do. Not worth pondering. We'll squeak. We'll go. Also, I appreciate how Von Zeeks wants to get to the truth. Because there are some prosecutors who definitely don't. One Man of Fred, perhaps comes to mind. We did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Doubt that. It didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter come out the door and get us next. Then why didn't you run? Why didn't you just book it? Just leave the store and go. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into him in the black. That's us. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker. See, we never even had a chance, did we? Never even had a chance is probably what we want to present on. But you admit to the accusation. You did indeed ransack the countertop. Not ransack, no. It's more like we tidied up. Yeah, totally. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash. We don't. Can you make us sound a bit more cutthroat? Can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windibanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. Let's see here. Cross-examination, illegal entry, the whole truth, and nothing but it. We did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. Your cheeks. And all that stuff went flying. Let's hear more about that. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter. Shocked one of us that much, yeah. This dragon nurse is going to keep your shirt on. Look, it was loud, all right. Blimey, my dead granny would have woken up with that bang. If Big Bruv here screamed, seemed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. It got tangled with some marionette, knocked over a picture frame, knocked them scales on the floor. You've really not started working quietly then. What a racket. Me granny would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that. In short, it took you by surprise. And then some. At least you're owning up to it. Oh, Greg? It was as quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam. Man, how it feels watching someone rant in a YouTube video that you have muted. Anyways, let's pursue you. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? I keep saying I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. I'm not trying to. Something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. True. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? As you know, we brought these fellows into the yard for questioning last night, and the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Does it now? Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. Can't help but feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony isn't any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Ooh. We'll get it right from this time on. That's it. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Really, huh? Supplement your testimony with whatever details you have supposedly miraculously returned. Right you are, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun."
Hold it!
So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, shot, then give me the gun. Oh, then it fired, but that would mean if this voice is any here, then yeah. Give me that gun. Bam. That did not happen. Career in acting tragically missed. I think they would be good. Like that would actually be a career where yeah, they could do some good work. Where are the voices coming from? Where's it good? From the other side of that door, huh? From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windibank? Oh yeah, on the granny's life, of course it was. On his granny's life, yeah, the granny is totally alive, totally. That would mean, I do actually believe him in this case. You both knew Mr. Windibank and the sound of his voice. Uh-oh, You've been planning this. So indeed it would. Yeah, come on. Nah. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy clobbers giving us the evil eye? So Ringo is the one to chat, and you ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me granny's life it is. On his granny's life it must be. Okay. I think his granny's actually alive. That was a good job his granny's dead. Oh, apparently they know that. Oh, it's a good job? Does it's a good job his grandma's dead mean that, is that like a British way of saying there's like a good chance, like a good job? Immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like you're clumsy, yeah. Don't forget we tidied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, the bloke would own the place was holding the gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. He was holding the do we present the photo as evidence here? Because we have, I mean, we might as well press anyways, but because, you know, saying, hey, you know, he was supposedly the one who held the gun, then where did the shot come from? If that was a side A, then two waving guns at each other must have got pretty heated. Oh, they're saying that they both had. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I wanted to take a look at the transcription, but could you add that state into your testimony, though? That would help. Just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Yeah, that makes sense coming from him. He's known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping. He's ready to put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being, yeah. We'll skip over. We certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet he wished he'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, give me that gun. And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time. Give me that gun, bang. Kind of thing. Rare enacting, very tragically missed. And we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash job tidying the place up. He just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Oh, wait. This is when there are signs of a single discharge. So, saying he should have just fired, well now, there are signs of a single discharge. Oh. Apparently not. Let's try the other one of that photograph of Gina.
Objection.
Yep. Okay. So I should have just gone with my first instincts. I think that is the lesson so far of this trial. Go with your first instinct. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You've got the picture. Yes, Nash, yes, no question. And yet, the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
Objection!
Surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more? That, and furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented was taken a suitably short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology is severely lacking. Too right, Nash. Too right. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the girl, eh? Hardly likely. Now I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence. Ugh. Pending at the cross-examination, counsel. Heed my earlier warning, witnesses. Skulkin's never skulkin'. At least it didn't give us a penalty. Let's save here real quick. I know we had like lots to do with that. The coach just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Single bullet wound from the back. I doubt this would be because we know that you shot on Sholmes, so I'm gonna look just to see if there's anything else that I need to to press on. I'm gonna make sure I don't look at new statement 3. Okay. I did end up seeing it, so crazy photograph shows a single bullet wound in the man's back. Oh, okay.
Objection.
This does show when he was killed, and it shows in the storeroom. You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winnebank, was wielding a gun. That's it, you got the picture. Yes, now she has, no question. And yet photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winnebank was not holding a firearm. Oh, because he's face down. You what? Bennett, that ain't right. There could be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winnebank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, that Moltoller used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Bang, 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 bang. That kind of thing. Stay exactly where you are. Right there. Huh? If the crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you've just acted out. You intrigue me, my learned friend, but let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? Oh yeah, because you're shot in the back. You're shot in the back.
Take that.
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, if I could ask the court to study the photograph of the victim's body again, you can clearly see that Mr. Winnebank was in fact shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there's an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony. There gotta be a third person in the room. A third person. It's God's honest truth. Shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. Did I hear it right just now? He actually saw Mr. Windenbank holding a gun. Something like that might have slipped out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Excuse me, you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun, which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Golgan brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, SpaghettiOs. Order, order, order. Witnesses, explain yourself at once. Well, the thing is, it weren't supposed to, what wasn't supposed to? It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear the false witness would be the death of you. And he is the Reaper of the Bailey. You've replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies. Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we, cut it out, Nash, cut it out. If we blab now, you know what it'll do to us. Uh-oh, radio time. It's radio time. Let me make your position perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Come on, the game's up. We'll have our guts for Galders. Case hasn't quite sunk in yet. No matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On pain of death. Oh boy! It's your very last chance to tell us the truth. Witness testimony time! Encounter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gap and needed a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He checked me over the counter. Pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear. I think we can just... We might be able to present their... Actually, no, because... No, we saw them shoot... never mind. We saw them shoot, Sholmes. We in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Yeah, sorry. That's totally true. Find ourselves in an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. Honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time we ain't got nothing more to hide, supposedly. We may proceed with our cross-examination. Let's do it. This is it, the moment I've been waiting for. Encounter with the victim. We just got inside the gap when he showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. We might want to press that one. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as Knox. He chucks me over the counter. Let's press this. If this is the truth, it's very interesting, and if it's a lie, I think they're on press. This is the kind of lie that when you press it, there might be things that come up. I noted that in your previous testimony too. Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette, etc., etc., etc. So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter. Well, Big Bruv here went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. Then the old geezer pinned him. Did now she did. If you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds. At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret little cable. There's a button under the counter used to activate it, which is presumably pressed by the victim. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Windibank. He did everything he could to protect his shop. Pulled me gun on him, then legged it through that door. We never had nothing to do with killing him. Yeah, okay. We're definitely pressing this. You say I had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. Nothing, gov, nothing. He went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it. The diesel door, that one, good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch. Is it able to be locked from the inside? The situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could have possibly shot the victim, the accused. It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel? I don't know. Was there anyone else, apart from Gina, who could have possibly shot Mr. Windibank? Apart from Gina, who could have shot Mr. Windibank? We're gonna say, we gotta say there could have been. That's our responsibility as a defense attorney. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, of course, this trial changed completely. It did. What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention. In that case, let us return and explain the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which is locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So, pray, what other possible answer could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums. Uh-oh, twice an 80 chance to be right, maybe? That's fair. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood. Alright. Yeah, well, we've got to find out somehow. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative, it would change Gina's prospects hugely, apparently. Time for some clarity. It's clarity time. Show the events. Let's say, because the only thing I can think of is that the door had a flap on it, so I don't think the force of the bullet would have, like, pushed the flap open, but maybe there could have been something else holding it open. I don't know. Maybe the door was open then. Who fucking knows? The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. In answer to the second question? Assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? It's gotta be, yeah, I think through. This is the only thing I can think, because he fell on your back. I don't know how it would have lost from the inside, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Up. We'll get there. Culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Oh, he's not immediately rebutting us. He died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you're adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom. Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, I pulled my gun on him and then he legged it through that door into the back room. If Mr. Winnebank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. It was at precisely that moment, when the victim was fleeing for his life, that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot that man in the back. Yeah, the question is, how does it lock? How does the door lock, though? Is it an automatic system? Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start? Moving on to the finding of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter. Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course, he would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would have still entered his body at an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter. I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. He claimed the victim was shot as he fled into the room. He also claimed his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key and lock. What if someone else locked the door? Yes, there's someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court in the scenario just described. The victim was shot from outside the storeroom. Who shut and locked the storeroom door? Probably the Skulkin brothers? Wait, what? No, from the inside. They weren't in the inside. You were inside. Yeah, you're also, like, fleeing for your life. You don't want to be another casualty if that's truly how things unfolded. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room. For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel. Yes, that's a trick. It's to be safe. It's to protect herself, I think. Half-baked suggestions have no notion in the council. But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? Yeah, yes it does. Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah, you see? You know, sometimes you do need a second detective. We all do, sometimes. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winnebank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Winnebank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv. If your theory's correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Winnebank fell to the floor where he was, just inside. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? See where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winnebank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, you gotta believe us. See, come on, we never shoot no one. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would, because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder. Whoa. Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? Should have known it was those three brothers. Oh goodness, Greg's gonna be fuming mad. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side. I wonder what Van Zeeks is gonna have for us. First time ever, and probably the last. Hey, don't say that just yet. I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not. You gotta know when a prosecutor laugh is coming. An admirable effort, my learned friend. He's laughing? Found the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks. I myself find the defense argument most persuasive. Let's see what he has to say here. I dare say, such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks, amounting to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. Fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? For Van Zeeks, might be an idea to explain this conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, huh? The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets, yeah. By George, count bullets? Oh dear. He noticed then. So Iris is just trying to get one past him. Counsel? Yes, sir. Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, at his arrival at the scene. Indeed, the defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are two firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windibank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these two brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did. Goodness, I think you'll find that if the single bullet that was fired from the brother's gun hit Mr. Sholmes, it means Windibank not shot by same gun, only one bullet. Exactly. Yes, this street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, there's never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. I can see why he's thinking that, you know, we're conning us now. Right for good to discourtesy of flinging the dregs of his hallowed nectar into the public gallery. Not forgiven, but okay. This court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. Truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with the loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution witnesses to present. Oh boy! A disc. I'll be taking that whatever it is if McGilden's down to the yard, thank you very much. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. But why? Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was... J-Rock, hello, welcome on in. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. If you're ever wanting to play this game, we are in the very last case. So if you want to play it, not the best time to watch, but if you don't mind a whole bunch of spoilers, then feel free to stick around. I hope you're doing well after all the weather happenings. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windibank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious. Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed. No crime she would not commit. Come on, man. Court forgets that fact at its peril. Not too much new. Not too much. Again, besides the whole weather thing going on. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence as a grim testament to the defendant's character. Lord Van Zeeks, I am... Inspector Gregson. Oh, boy. Yes, Inspector? We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that that disc wouldn't be used as evidence. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this isn't good. We got the Magoons out for us. Or at least Von Zeeks does. That's the first time I said anything to Van Zeeks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions, right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy, temperature. I hope you're dealing with that okay. Absolutely bundle up, do what you need to. I'm just glad you're here, and presumably that means you're safe. So with that weather. Inspector, I'm the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. Lamau XD, we're gonna submit it. Fuck you. Indeed, bailiff? It's for McGilded. Prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There's nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen, jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. I don't believe it. Had the jury on my side for once, for all 5 minutes. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Runo. My lord. Wonder if I might say something at this point. Yep. Summation Examination, Volume 2, the second one. Trial of the sequel. Here it comes. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
There it goes. You have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. So he does read some Sherlock Holmes, huh? How dare you use it against us? Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more of this case than we realize. There must be. So there's one thing I'm absolutely certain of. Tina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Alrighty here. Yeah, I love that the judge doesn't even have to ask us anymore. Just, yeah, summation examination time, is it? Well, on your way then. You'll each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Judicial findings. Jurors' contentions. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say, different breed to us law-abiding citizens. As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Why is it bouncing? Why is it bouncing crazy style? Each way you look at it, it's the pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted the theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Huh. It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit, I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black, but when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. Ugh, the whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris, that prosecutor's being mean. Just because Jenny's done something she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Fruity, huh? Here's to the truth coming out. Eventually, with enough time, supposedly. Although I agree, we just gotta give it 2 more parts for this trial. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. Alrighty, let's see. Jury examination time. The defense's rebuttal. I definitely want to go to 6, because I think you might have some helpful info. I thought you were just a tourist. Good day. You are not pulling that trick again. No. No. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. You're a ballistics expert. Sorry. I have much experience with guns. I have did through many, how do you say, extreme, violent, no, blood of, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps? Those extreme violent bloodbaths. English is a very difficult tongue. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have it. Oh goodness. If you have questions about guns and guns, you ask me. There's nothing I do not know, no mystery I cannot solve. Okay. But if possible, please only in Russian language. He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though. No, not at all, which is, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely keep it in mind. And Six has managed to convince everyone. We've eliminated the impossible, he said, but he hasn't. If we're gonna fight back, we need more material. And we have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. 2 bullets found were found at the scene. Some altercation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted to theft on the previous.
Hold it!
What's stress you? What do you mean you're in for a busy day? Forgot to say, stop. Do excuse me, stop. I'm a communications officer. Stop. Communications officer? So that has nothing to do with sending telegrams. Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all the messages into Morse code and tap it out to the entire world electronically. To the entire world? Thousands of miles of cable under the sea. Stop. Worldwide communication network. To and from all corners of the globe. Ah, yeah, she was getting equally worked up earlier. I specialize in communicating information from government departments and newspaper offices. I see. I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports of today's guilty verdict later. So no more sleep for me tonight, I imagine. Let's just finish the trial first, shall we? Yeah. Okay. 5.
Hold it!
Are you still talking about the same thing, or are you different? Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with the trial? The defendant's life is on the line. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that's nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet has simply vanished from his stomach. Uh-oh. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? I almost don't want to ask, but the surgery you've been muttering about all this time. You were operating on... What was the fellow's name now? Herlick, yup. Loch? No. Hairlock? Herlock Sholmes by any chance? Yes, good lord. It was that Hairlock fellow. Oh boy, yep. You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes. You better be alive. You better not have anything stuck in his chest. Using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see, the fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. He said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw my hands and stitch the fellow back up. Oh. I hate to state the obvious, but... Yes? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. Counsel for the defense is correct, as is clearly shown in this photographic print. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall. Is that really the case, though, now? It's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Who do you think I am, son? Well, cure number 4 is about the best I can do. That's a good one. That's a good one, Ryunosuke. As soon as I saw the wounds into the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did, and there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all. What? That's the point. The only logical conclusion is that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. Now this is very unusual. Bet there's another person here. I wonder if the man himself was at this location. Exactly why I said about slicing it up. I wonder if Wario himself was there. I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can somebody please explain how it happened? It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. Ayo! Very interesting. Where's an excerpt when you need one? Ayo, okay, okay.
Hold it!
Can we... Yeah, I don't think so. Bathed in the blood of the enemies. Do 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 do. Let's see. Do 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 do. Oh, can we pay you now? It's only 2 bullets. Let's press you just to be sure. It's a number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired themselves have been examined. When the parlor maid asked me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yes. Sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose if there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. Yup, 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible? Oh, shoot. Unfortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered. Yes, I know. Right. I don't imagine a good man of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well, I should receive a scound's scolding, I don't doubt. Hold on. Oh, is it? Yeah, it might just be talking about the judge, but maybe another lord in the city. It should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It seems like a crime scene to me. 3rd bullet. It would completely turn things around if there was one. You think we might find one lying around somewhere? Well, either way, I want to pit you. Now you are, I was thinking about this, but where that bullet ended up, but there is an expert. This isn't going to resolve it. Probably. These 2 statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Ayo! Pitting, P-I-T-T. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there is no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is... Uh-oh. He just admitted to being villain Bolshevik, even if he didn't already do that already. But this apparent contradiction in the facts is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen very similar situation in Motherland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along Mountain Road in freezing cold. Golly. The snow was piling high on both sides of road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. Yeah. I was shot from behind. I fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor. They could not find bullet in body. And no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. Then where'd the bullet go? Bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, why'd you fall down? Bullet hit frozen ball of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body. Oh, it made deep wound that looked just like bullet wound. Good gracious. Of course, a piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is the solution to the mystery of disappearing bullet. I hate to friend inside me, but we're on an ad break, so I can. Friend inside me. Fewer people will see that. But that doesn't answer the question at all. Shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop, not some snowy mountain road. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Where exactly was Shirley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach, sort of around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. Pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous, Then why don't we? Then why hasn't that come up in the investigation before? What? Really? Yeah. Okay. So definitely nothing. Well, yeah. Well, maybe it did. Maybe it did spill over, but it's like the glass. We didn't see any glass. What of the glass? The fellow had nothing like that on this person when he arrived at the hospital. If I may. While I realize it's forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Thank goodness, I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it's been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed. Bring forth the pouch! I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes. Uh-oh, one of them is gone and donezo. Look at that. One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass file exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet didn't penetrate the victim, but was deflected into the vaulted shop. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. Pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. Ugh. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence. Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy. Alright, let's take a look. Now, the summation examination. Let us save before this. I'm hoping this gets, this is quick because I'm definitely starting to fade a little. All right, let's examine it. Oh, well, would you look at that? I clicked on the bullet. There we go. The file was smashed to pieces. Presumably, this is where the bullet struck. As soon as the bullet hit the chemical in the file, there would have been a really big explosion. Big explosion? Well, Hurley's potions with the chemicals are amazingly useful for investigation work, but they're also quite tricky to handle. Safely, at least. They're very dangerous. Oh. I'm sure that when this file broke, the chemical inside would have ignited. Note to self, always walk on the right-hand side of Sholmes in future. The left is the danger zone. Oh, do I have to view it through here, then? Okay. It's really scorched badly just here. Oh, the strap is broken, look. Now, we can see the thing. We can see the thing. This must be where the bullet hit, then. Let me see. Ayo. What the? Iris, look. Behind where the broken file was. Do you see it? That's the Skulkin brothers' bullet. What a stroke of luck that it hit this pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is there were 3 bullets fired at Windibanks. Found exactly what the juror was talking about. The 3rd bullet. Time to press that juror again, I think. I agree. Anything else? Nah, okay. Alright. Actually, let's examine this, just in case. No, okay. I just wanted to see if there's any blood or any, like, markings on it. Your defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion. Not anymore. Not anymore. Come on. Be a valuable clue. Can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. There's still a way to turn this around. Somehow. Sure of it. Alright. First, let's... Before we pit anyone first, we do...
Hold it!
Let's show you the bullet. Bullet number 3. Da 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 da. I can prove it. Allow me to show you then. Third bullet. Hope you've been listening, because this implies that you haven't been. Oh, wait. No, this is the first time we're showing the third bullet. We just established where the third bullet would be. Here it is. We discovered it just now. On the 9th question in Windibank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired. What is this new trickery you conjure? Where'd you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to hospital. Since then, it's been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as her lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. That makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in the photographic print. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted to the court record as evidence. That of Mr. Windibank and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. Not 1, not 2, not 4, not 7, not 67, not 69, not 420, but 3. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Ugh. Oh. He do be handsome when you go like that, though. While the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter, that is one of his phrases. Bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Blabble, 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 blabble. Uh-oh. Also, Greg's still lumped in with them. Witnesses. Governor, were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? I don't make nothing of nothing if I can't help it. Is it one of yours? Finding not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? What? Never. The Skulkin brothers work alone. Just the 2 of us. That's our trademark. How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The third bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? That's an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes, we're gonna have to prove it, aren't we? Third bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back all over the testimony we've heard, all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture. A picture of what really happened. My lord, I think it's clear what they tell us about the Skulkin brothers. They had a secret accomplice, they had another gun, or it's nothing to do with them. Where my head's at, you know, it could be any one of these. It could be any one of these 3, but they had another gun. They were caught. and when they were caught fleeing by the police, they would have found another gun. It's nothing to do with them. They clearly have some, like, I mean, that one, I mean, I said that it could be all these three. It can't be that one. So we know there's something to do. But they had a secret accomplice, I think. On that night at Winnebank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with the third man. Or a woman. Don't assume gender, Ryunosuke. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice, but the evidence all points to the fact that there's someone else present. Someone carrying a gun.
Objection.
An accomplice, you say? Pigs will... These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there's not been murmur of a third man. If this apparently wraith-like being exists... Oh, it smashed. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. Prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. Skulkins are lying, I know that. I know how to prove the first bit. I think I know how to prove the first bit. How can I ascertain the identity? Well, counsel? Supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity, even. Its response to the prosecution demands, my defense is, I think I'm ready. Let's save just in case. I am too damn determined to get to the end of this summation. I'm ready. Defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my learned friend, sight the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence to be available. Oh, wait, we have the blood. Hold on. Can we analyze the... I bet this is what we're gonna do. I bet we're gonna have the disc analyzed. Can we... Winnebank's green. Yep. Purple was Mason. Winnebank was blue. Yeah, it's definitely, it's our green fella here. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the 9th question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the the third intruder was not a president, but we do have proof by way of this. The evidence is right here in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? I forgot we already presented. You expect the court to rifle through your papers itself. Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of the third intruder. Well, which one is it? Well, it's not Winnebank's because that's on the floor. We've already confirmed that this is thrice-fired Mason. This person is going to be Magnus the Gilded. We're going to learn that because it's on the blood disc.
Take that.
But it also says unknown there, which is the most important part. There used to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a blood stain, my lord. Blood stain? But it's green. You idiot. Green blood? Curious even for you. It's hard to understand that the intruder was some sort of unhuman creature. So it did cut back to aliens, see? You see? It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes, the great detective. New invention, stop. Not yet appeared in stories, stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts to different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Ooh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Ugh. Talk of blood in courtroom stop. Very exciting. Oh, goodness. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank. Ah, striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident. No, if it's not unrelated, the calendar is stuck at April 16th. It's showing the day on which Mr. Windibank was killed. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. And whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Maybe actually, I've been thinking that maybe it isn't. The only thing that's making me think it isn't McGilda's blood is McGilda's pretty tiny. And that calendar is pretty high up. Maybe it was our good old buddy old pal Benedict or whatever. It must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact. Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. Oh, yeah, no, it is Benedict because they were in the tussle for the thing. They're in the tussle for the disc. And Benedict's blood, off it. Who is this alleged third intruder? I'm glad I just recognized this now. It's got to, because they have the disc, I think it's you. This is my thought. I think that it is, in fact, you. Let's fucking go. The man's name is Eggert Benedict, or so he claims. Eggert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about? He paid a visit to Windibank's pawnbrokery the afternoon before the incident took place, when the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. Well, we'll see. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Eggert Benedict, or so he claims to be called, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Hey, oh wait, flashbangs. Broca, da. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you now. The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. That's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say... Any music box disc, too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. In the interest of being thorough, I asked Windibank for a print showing the fellow. Fuck. Taken from one of his red-handed recorder governances. That's him talking to Mr. Windibank that morning. He claimed this man is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Never seen the geezer before in my life. On my life, never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I agree, we must see proof. God damn it. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start, but now I'm gonna drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom like the little baby he is, the little baby McGill that he is. Are you ready to present your answers to the court? Yes, my lord, we'll present the evidence, proof that the man pictured in the photographic print was, in fact, the person struck by the third bullet. It is gonna be our music box disc, I'm pretty sure. Let's go for it, baby! Here it is. This is the irrefutable Oh, it's not? I failed to see the connection. Oh. I thought we were gonna have it analyzed, and... because he took it in the scuffle. Because he drew blood. Now I have to rethink my whole explanation. Great. Cool. What an amazing job by me. So fun and dandy. I'm not breaking down about this at all. I'm not having a crash out. Don't at me. Last piece of evidence. Something's been missing. Proof that the man pictured in the print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. Huh. What could that be? What could that be? Still think it's the music box. Let's see here. Well, did I say we're only on one? We gotta overturn this summation. I think we got to. Do we just do the portfolio again? Do we have to start with this? Nope. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's load our save. Let's see. Can we... Now that we have the music... I'm still stuck on this. Oh, Runo, I'm still stuck on the blood. Just examining it. Feels as though I might have noticed that before. Yeah, I did. I did. Hold still with that disc, Bruno. Get this. Come on. Come on. Surely we could have just presented the disc and said, here, let's do a blood analysis. Watch as it turns green. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. That color. Just green. Not the first time we've seen it. It's not the first time we've seen the green. Now let's present the music box disc. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim the disc from Windibanks. Which is when the aforementioned Edgar Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. The man attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. I'm still not sure if Gina deceived him. He might have been sent by a certain lad who was following this, and a minor incident occurred. But of course, sir, here's the disc for you. Very well. Pa, shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute, that disc. That disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. Goodness, a blood stain, is it? My assistant and I have just analyzed the blood stain here in this very courtroom, using my trusty fogger gun. And we add the results to this portfolio. Say, it's green. Exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar. The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Edgar Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime. So there was someone else there. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Who are you talking about? It's boiling in here. That's funny. That's very funny. My lord, it's the opinion of the defense that Mr. Edgar Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence. This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. And they still gotta overturn the thing. Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in the series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection of some such. You've read the thing! You said the catchphrase earlier in this very trial, Van Zeeks. Stop playing around. And now you employ chemical substances devised of this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land? Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Well, you got the leg up. And pray, don't even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. Right, Mr. Sholmes' concoction a load of rubbish. I don't know, I mean, he is a great detective. And Van Zeeks does bring up a good point. Let's bring him in. I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body, but what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Good grief. What did you just say, young girl? And in a summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? Is that the way I see it? It doesn't matter. At least, not for now. She's right. Young lady, you have quite the devious mind. It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Runo. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with. We already knew that. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. You got it. You got quite a bit of busy in you there. Must we acknowledge that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion? This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you'll come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Two called guilty and 4 called not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination. The trial goes on. With all due respect, this is an outrage. That the prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? Whoa, got him. They're persuaded to say some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender is some real police work. And they're too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. That's not up for debate here. That's you got like Congress. Well, I guess the king, but you got this is the time nor place. This trial will continue. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false. How do you not believe that, Ryunosuke? Come on! Oh, you're just... when a man was there. Could I say something? Is it Gina? Who spoke? It was me, my lord. You're number 5. Yeah, okay. You got the telegraph. What have you to say, madam? If possible, Inspector. Me, ma'am? I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again, the one in which the gentleman is shown. Right, yes, this one you mean? Of Mr. Benedict. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. You're number 5, you don't mean to say you know this man? Yes, I know him. Uh-oh. Deus Ex Machina time. Is he your partner or something? What sort of connection we have here? How on earth? I'm a communications officer, stop. As we can clearly see, the gentleman in the photograph is, stop, also a communications officer. Stop, he works in my office. Spaghetti-o. Very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Tapping away on the telegraph. Stop. This doesn't seem right somehow. Can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. Suppose what we all imagined the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets to at night. Now, she's definitely yeah, this is another ploy. This is a McGilded ploy. I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zeeks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. Court will recess for 1 hour. When a new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson? Yes, my lord. I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess. Yes, sir, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. And fade to black. To be continued, and that's where we're gonna leave it up for tonight. And next week might very well be our final. Might very well be our final episode of this series. It's gonna be 1 or 2 more. That is for certain. But thank you all so much for being here. Let's find somebody. Let's find somebody to raid. Real quick. Let's see here. Let's go say hello to G-Kill. G-Kill is fun. Playing some Yakuza 0. Let's go on say hello. Wednesday we'll be here with Urban Disillusion Center. If we will see you soon. Have a good one, everybody. Be kind people. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.